today. Ready? Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. I'm Lama Tashi. We do this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock Hawaiian time. And it's recorded and put on our website, kauaidharma.org. When we do these practices of mind training, it's called Bodhisattva Training School. And where the term Bodhisattva comes from is there are two kinds of human birth on a planet. One is the karmic birth that most of us take. And then there's the birth from a lotus sun and moon disk, which is a symbol of taking birth as a bodhisattva, to help people train in the Dharma and turn their minds towards what we call Buddhahood or enlightenment, which is simply becoming mature in the human condition. And I'm going to read a little bit from a book one of my students gave me two, and this one's by Trenggu Rinpoche of Vancouver, Canada, and he's been one of my teachers for about 50 years, and he's still proliferating with his writings and teachings, and it's called The Crystal Clear. That's the name of the book. Dzogchen is the Tibetan title. And it's a practical advice of Mahamudra meditation practice by Lama Kenshin Trenggu Rinpoche. And I'm going to read one little excerpt from it. And by the way, these are through Rangju Nyeshe Publications, or you can get them through, where do we get our books from?
Amazon.
Amazon, yeah, Amazon. This is about meditation, which is the key to all of the practices, being able to use your imagination and your focus single-pointedly in formal meditation. It says, a meditator could also form the conceptual attitude thinking everything is unreal. Everything is insubstantial. Everything is emptiness. But clinging to this idea of emptiness is not the same as realizing emptiness. To cling or to become attached to any aspect of meditation does not change the reality from the form realm, which we call the drama realm, which we are in, to the insubstantial realm of light and space, which is called the formless realm. And the difference between these two is actually very similar to the difference between a human rebirth and a spirit rebirth. It says, the concrete reality to be this way concerning our concrete reality is dumb. But clinging to emptiness or the voidness that we accomplish in meditation is even dumber. And what that means, it says some people believe that meditative training is to act natural, letting whatever happens, happens, without preferences, judgment, or evaluation, without training, merely letting things carry on as usual. This is an indifferent sort of calm accomplished in meditation and is simply an ordinary state. To practice like that and be like that is pointless. it accomplishes nothing. So we come to three partial shortcomings pertaining to meditation. Partial refers to the being one-sided or biased on a specific quality of the natural state of our own consciousness. So the first one that we come to in meditation, that we train in with these classes and in formal practice on our own, is having the mind settle into a state of peace and tranquility by taking the mind off of the everyday activity, disconnecting from worldliness. And by being single-pointed on one thing, this allows you to settle. Now, this state of settle is called Hinayana. And all of the first part of the training and meditation is Hinayana practice. The word Hini comes from Hindu, or Hin, which means relative. But it also means emotional. And so thinking, judgment, and emotionality are actually all the same thing. The thought arises, the judgment arises with the thought, and the emotion arises from those two. And it happens so fast that one cannot differentiate one from the other. And they take it as, oh, everybody does that way, so they call that ordinary. When you reach this calm state of meditation through formal practice and through hearing the instructions, as we're doing now, that's the first state. That's called the platform for realizing or moving into the next advancement of the practice, which is to latong, or moving from with calm abiding into the state of clear light or voidness. And when you move into that state, then your thoughts are analyzed. Their thoughts are accepted as part of the meditation, but also the judgment of how you look at things and your tendencies that arise from the judgment. All of that is part of Shine and Latong working together. Then when you have the more realization in the natural state, Latong, Mahamudra is another term, then you start to notice more and more the space aspect of those two. And the space is Mahamudra's formless realization or experience. And that's realized actually kind of separate from the clarity or the clear light stage that we relate to our thoughts and judgments and so forth. And its benefit goes back to where you started in the Latong. Now the worldliness and the emotions and the judgment and the lack of insight into your natural mind all come together in a state of complete openness, is the best way to put it. Abby calls that infinite okayness. She has a mudra. She goes like this. What does that mean? I take it as it's really out there. Now I'm explaining this because we have TM, Transcendental Meditation. We have Hindus. We have all kinds of New Agey practices to help people move away from their lifestyles that cause sickness and disease, ill health, and great physical and emotional upheaval, which is what's going on globally. So, my warning to meditators in the Tibetan tradition comes from my teacher, the Dalai Lama, and he simply says, the more devotion you have and the more practice you have in the Sutra and Tantra tradition, the less attachment you will have to these various accomplishment stages of meditation practice. And when you have no attachment to being calm and peaceful, that breaks the possibility of becoming that in the next life in the pleasure realm of the gods, which is what religions are. And most Buddhism is about that. The second part of this, where you move from the latong, the piece of meditation called shine or shamatha, whether you're practicing sutra or other methods, is that also breaks the cause of becoming rebirth in what we call the realms of Shiva, or the realms of clear light, clarity. Because you realize, and when you have realization, there's no tendency, there's no karma. Then the third realization of voidness, the ultimate realization of Mahamudra, if you have attachment to that, then again, the karmic result is your rebirth in the heavenly realm of Brahma. Now, all of those realms have many levels, and some of them actually blend together and all that. They've got it mapped. But what it simply means is you can go into the next life without having to identify these practices that you are accomplishing and gaining realization or maturity in, without having to take a spirit birth. And then the question comes up, well, what do you do? Well, now we're back to Bodhisattvaism, Bodhisattva training. You don't emotionally identify with the practices, therefore your ego isn't inflated, therefore you don't have the tendency to take that kind of rebirth. You just relax in the next life as a bodhisattva, which is what all these symbols that you see around me are showing. But more importantly, you become available in this life and the next life to others to help them progress to that same position. And bodhisattvas are actually potential Buddha. But the level of the Buddha is 1 trillion times higher forms of awareness than the 10th level of the Bodhisattva. But if you put all 10 levels of development of the Bodhisattva, then you can understand what it means to be totally mature or enlightened or a Buddha. So with all that, we'll take refuge. We have the refugee. If you're doing sutra, most of this is usually at the start of the sutra. In Tantra, you actually have accomplished the sutra. Now you can go directly to these practices and start your tantric practice, which was what we're going to do tonight. First of all, the most important is the altruistic motivation of the Bodhisattva. And I'm going to chant it in Tibetan, and then we're going to say it in Canadian. Dag dong jo wa nam ke ta dong yam pe sem shem tam che du di ne jung te ji si jeng shu ning po la chi ki bar du. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now, all together, take refuge and offer prostration. Then we chant the foundation practice of the refuge prayer in Tibet. Baldan Lama Dampa Namla Japsu Chio Yedam Chokorgi Latso Namla Japsu Chio Sanjay Chom Dende Namla Japsu Chio Dampe Chur Namla Japsu Chio Palpe Gendum Namla Japsu Chio Palwo Kandro Chokyung Sume Sho Yesheki Shendang Dempa Namla Japsu Chio. Then we chant the Bodhisattva prayer, which is the practice of the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines. Sanjay Chodam Choki Chodnam La Jangchu Bardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Jinso Jipe Sonam Ki Drola Danger Sanjay Juparsho. Excuse me. To the Buddha Dharma and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. So the first part was a motivation. The second part is the support for all Dzogchen and Mahamudra Bodhisattva practitioners. And the third part is the actual practices, the 6 practices that are the basis of all of the methods that we use. They are, first of all, generosity. The second one is morality, actually the discipline of morality connected with ethics and good manners. The third one is the practice of patience. The fourth one is, we say, perseverance, that this is to be accomplished 24/7, 24 every day, all day, every day from now on. The fifth one is meditative concentration, single-pointedly on one thing, using the imagination with the focus. And the sixth one is taking the first 5 and directly moving the mind with the Shine and Latong meditations into the accomplishment of Mahamudra, or Dzogchen. And to enforce this, or to speed up the process, so that one gains accomplishment and realization faster, then we do the sutra and tantric practices of Tibetan Buddhism called the path of skillful means. So we blend the path of the Bodhisattva with the path of skillful means. That's ongoing, now and into our future, no end in sight. Now on my right, I have a picture we used last week. Well, could you bring me the Chenrezig from the back office, right door? Of Chenrezig in union with Vajrapani, or Pema Khandro, the Lotus Dakini. Now, we're going to do 3 practices tonight that bring compassion, power, and insight development fast using 3 deities that embody those 3 principles. Chenrezig, Manjushri, and Vajrapani. The first one, they're all 3 combined in the 3 deities, but the first one emphasizes compassion. And this picture was actually accomplished from the Dalai Lama's teachings of 4 days in a retreat. Yeah, just hold it for a minute. That in Hollywood, California, that emphasized Chenrezig, but the main deity was in union with the red, wrathful Pema Khandro, Vajrapani. And when he gave the empowerment and the explanation, he explained that this deity, a Dakini, the fire Dakini, or we call it the radiation because fire is just one form of radiation. This Dakini represents everything that you think and everything that you see with your eyes, these 2 eyes. And later, when you start to meditate, she's the one that's the 3rd eye, the one your imagination. So very important to have this in union with your compassion, which is altruistically applied to all sentient beings. And then this would be the meditation practice. There's actually a special mantra for this. And it's based on the mantra of Chenrezig, Om Mani Padme Hum. And the Dalai Lama said the mantra of this is to create this as a central deity, and then the other 4 directions are the other 4 colors of the Chenrezig and the 5 Dakinis in union. And the mantra for that was Om Mani Padme Hum, Duma, which is her, which means wisdom Dakini, Gaia, Haranisa, Racha, Hriye, Soha. So what you're doing with that mantra is you're creating in each of the 4 directions the 5 Dhyana Buddha families, but using Bodhisattva symbols of the male and female deity. So that was quite complicated. But last week it was appropriate for that class. But tonight we're going to do just Chenrezig without union. So take this and give me that one. Then we're going to do Manjushri, which is this deity, to accomplish not only insight, but understanding of what it is and how to use it. And at the end of class, we'll end up with the practice of Vajrapani, which is the central deity of all the tantric deities. They call the Dakas and Dakini. Dakas are the male, Dakinis are the female. And I put this, which is our code, for the outer world as the 5 elements and the inner world as the 5 spheres of awareness of the 5 Dhyana Buddha fields, which is what the crown of the deities symbolize. And it doesn't matter what deity, they all have that 5 jewel or 5 point crown. In front of the deity, in each of these, in front of the lotus, sun and moon seat they're sitting on, and that symbolizes this is for the human world, human condition, is an empty mirror. And this is the state of consciousness like at birth. But for us, it's a state of consciousness, emphasizing that when you start your practice and you're calm and peaceful, you can let go of all the thinking, all the emotionality, all the judgment. You can just sit and be peaceful. But when you move into the nature of mind, it symbolizes that other nature of your consciousness where there's no drama, where there's no judgment, where there's no I, me, mine. It's like the baby at birth, coming out of the womb with the mental process clear. So that's Mahamudra. That's your natural mind. And it's kind of another way of thinking of it. It's like the sky with no clouds, full of light. So now we're going to do the first practice leading into the Chenrezig practice is the relative practice of the three lights meditation on the breath. It's called the three lights Prana Yoga. And then we're going to do one of the five elements healings, because that gets us totally in place, calm and peaceful, but also helps our body be energized and healthy. And then we'll do the same three lights breathing and enter into the Chenrezig practice. And from that, then we'll do Manjushri and then finish with Vajrapani. So we have a full practice session. In retreat, it would be 2.5 hours, but for this class, it's 2 hours. Back straight, hands on the knees or in the lap, mouth closed, tongue against the palate, head slightly tilted forward, eyes slightly open. Soften the gaze to the space in front. Bring your focus to your breath. Accomplish the prana breathing by imagining or visualizing the air that you are breathing containing the five elements is entering into your lungs as white light. The absorption breath or middle breath is visualized as the energy of that light passing through every cell in your body. Then combine these two lights and visualize the exhale out the nose to be blue light to space, available to the infinite beings inhabiting space. It's called the healing breath. Inhale white light, fill the lungs, absorption breath, red light through the body, even the hair if you can. Then combine the two and exhale and blue light out the nose to space. Practice this breathing technique until you can accomplish the state of peace and tranquility. It's called sunyata, or calm abiding. Then take your focus, when you've accomplished that, take your focus off the breath and combine the three lights of this coded breathing, tantric breathing method, into a tiny particle visualized centered in the middle of your chest. Actually, in the central channel of your body, called the Uma, or life force channel. We call it the heart bindu or heart chakra. Relax and allow that tiny particle combined of the three lights to merge with the infinite light of the fabric of boundless space. Complete openness. Similar to the empty mirror. This becomes the foundation for the 5 elements healing practice by again inventing the particle in your heart center, in your heart chakra, expand it to a small sphere of clear light. Keep expanding it until it moves into the element of a small blue sphere about the size of your thumbnail. Label that the element water. It's all 5 in one, but we're emphasizing for healing the water element. These elements are universal and timeless. They are the life support of everything. Focusing on that blue sphere labeled water in your heart chakra, visualize it to move out in front of your body and up before your eyes, arm's length in front, in the space where you started your practice. Visualize it to enlarge in size, about the size of the room you're in, or a sphere large enough that you can see your body just as you are sitting inside. Or if you're laying down or standing, like that. All of the full life force energy of that element, of all the elements, into your physical form. For healing, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Expand it in size now, using your imagination and your focus together to expand outward to completely enclose a large area of where you live. We visualize the island of Kauai and surrounding ocean inside. If you live in a city or town, completely enclosed, or in nature, a large area of the area where you are meditating in nature. Then expand it in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere. Expand it in size to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy, our solar system, sun and planets inside. Expand it in size to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. Then go beyond your conceptual ability to visualize and merge it with boundless space. There's no reference point or circumference, so just relax in the complete openness of this element, this dimension of being, the formless realm of space. This increases your capacity for unlimited development in higher states of awareness. Return from this dimension and again visualize the blue water element enclosing our galaxy. Reduce it in size to just enclosing the solar system. Keeping your intelligence, your visualization, and your focus together, reduce it in size to just enclosing Mother Earth, our water planet. Then smaller and smaller to just enclosing the island or area where you are doing this healing practice. Then very much smaller to just enclosing your physical form inside. Taking the full life support energy system of the universe into your form body. Through every pore and orifice and into every cell. To finish the practice, again, place the symbol in front of your eyes in its original small size. Drop it to chest level and bring it into your heart chakra. Reduce it to a tiny clear light sphere and then to the particle, and relax in boundless space. No meditation. Simply be present. Bring this heightened state of awareness to in front of your eyes and spread it into your area of practice and dedicate the merit. We move through this practice quite rapidly in this class. And no matter which one of these 5 elements you use, all 5 elements are psychically healing you and your environment and the beings in it. Having confidence in these practices is necessary for the accomplishment of the practice. And that confidence is only gained through practice and experiencing the results of the practice. This is not a faith-based belief system. Now we move to the second part of the class, the path of skillful means. Skillful means something with the six Bodhisattva basic training program, which is applied both on the relative and ultimate levels of your consciousness, not only to benefit other living beings appropriately, but also to increase your awareness of what is appropriate, what is beneficial. What does relative compassion mean? What does ultimate compassion mean? Those two terms apply to each of the six Bodhisattva disciplines. And when you get to the level of insight, then we enter to enhance that, the sixth level of the Bodhisattva practice, which we call emptiness or voidness. Then we bring in the path of skillful means, which is the rainbow bodies of the peaceful deities combined with the mind of the Lama, and then the Dakas and Dakini practices of the protector deities combined with the mind of the Lama. And that's ultimate shamanism. It's called, in the tantric practice of 4 levels of tantra, it's called the Anuttara Tantra Yoga. And we start with the deity Chenrezig because that's all of the 1,000 deity of the Tibetan tradition with their Dakini energy is based on the Chenrezig practice. And that's true of both the peaceful deities and the protector. Now, Chenrezig symbolizes compassion by, first of all, being located on a lotus sun and moon disk, which means it's only useful in the human condition as a practice. But once it's sustained in the human condition, then it becomes part of our state of being in the next life, the spirit condition, and each life after that, with no end in sight. When we have 6 colors of silks dressing the deity, 5 of those are the 5 elements. The 6th one is the kata, which is the element of generously sharing the healing energy of those 5 elements. So all the deities have this kata draped around. Then we have the 5 jewel crown, which is the 5 dhyana Buddhas, which is what we practice as a complementary stage of the practice. We have 6 kinds of jewelry dressing the deity, earrings, necklace, bracelets, so forth. All of that, that's the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines. This sphere of light energy is where the deity comes from, and it's sustained as Dzogchen or Mahamudra. It is the sphere of influence which is universal and applied altruistically as loving kindness, compassion, altruistic compassion. The sun and moon in the sky, indicating the light of the mind, also is the light of our universe around us. Without this, life cannot be sustained. No birth can happen without the moon, and no life support without the sun. The sky is empty and the deity around us with clouds, natural. The environment is a place with rolling hills, waterfalls, rivers, animals, and so forth. So this is our world, our natural world. This is a human symbol of loving kindness, compassion, power, and insight. So we're going to stress the compassion by applying it to our family on this planet today. Sit with your back straight, hands comfortable, mouth closed, head tilted, eyes open to the space in front. Breathe. Inhale white light, fill your lungs. Hear the sound Om. The vibration of this life support energy coming into your lung. The energy itself is the red light of the elements, of the air elements you're breathing, passing through every cell in your body. This is what keeps you alive in the body. Take these two together and exhale the blue light out your nose as this same result and healing effect to all beings filling space. This is your generous contribution. And you breathe with the code of these three tantric lights, with the Om as the in breath, Ah is the red light energy pervading the body, and Hum, the universal sound of healing available to all living beings everywhere. Fully applied to their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual disposition, just as they are. Then you connect out of devotion to the Lama as the deity in front, and the Lama's life-size white light coming from his head into your head is to support you in the visualization of the rainbow body of the deity in practice. Red light from the Lama's throat to your throat is the result of that. It's the mantra vibration of your speech to empower your speech to benefit the living beings and the environment that you inhabit, this universe. Blue light from the Lama's throat is the wisdom empowerment of the mental and spiritual development through the practice into your heart center. When you conceive the three lights, one from the head, the red light from the throat, and the blue from the heart chakra, coming into you all at once, simultaneously, then have the Lama melt into you. This is the fourth empowerment of union. In this way, your mind and the Lama's mind, which is the attainment of universal consciousness or awareness, blend like water into water. Then you start your practice. You are now Chenrezig with three lights in your three places. The Om in your head, the Ah in your throat, and the Hum in your heart chakra. Visualize the white Om and the white sphere of light moves down the central channel into the red Ah in your throat. These two code together, come into the blue Hum. The blue Hum is the symbol of union of these three as your body, speech, and mind in higher states of awareness change into the seed-soluble Kri. Kri is the state of infinite light of your awareness and the universe in union. As Chenrezig. Then you sit for a few moments and deepen your visualization of your holographic rainbow body to replace your idea of the I, me, mind body that you were born with. When you can see yourself three-dimensionally as a light body, young, healthy, smiling, white in color, rainbow body, silks and jewels dressing, sitting on a lotus sun and moon seat, blazing light radiating around you in all directions in a natural setting. When you can see all that in your mind's eye, or any part of it, then visualize your mother in front. Same deity, equal to you, same size, facing you. Chenrezig. We say mirror image. Then project it to your father and all your relatives, friends, lovers, pets, everybody you have karma with, even adversaries and enemies. Then to the 8 billion humans on the planet today. In your mind, you build a mandala of light and light beings, just like you did with the 5 elements practice. Expanding outward, you include all the animals in the ocean and on the land, infinite in number. Then all the spirits that inhabit the entire universe, infinite in number. So your mind is completely filled with light and light forms of compassion of the deity. No one left out. This causes the heart mantra to appear, which you sound with your voice, and we'll do 100 rounds of Om Mani Padme Hum. Visualize the Shri in your heart center as you do the practice. And the Shri, learn to draw this so you can visualize it three-dimensionally in your heart. Red color on a white background in a rainbow sphere of light in the center of your heart, about the size of your thumbnail. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. If you're in India, Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme. In Tibet, Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. These 6 syllables rotate clockwise around the Kri inside that sphere when you're sounding it, and the letters face outward. The Shri and the mantra blasts light through your body. It escapes to space to the benefit of beings around you and your environment. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Free. Now, Hri is the energy of the Buddha field of discerning awareness. That's your natural mind of altruistic compassion and loving kindness, is the replacement of all your drama mind. We'll do one more round and I'll give you the code of the 6-syllable mantra for the 6 states of rebirth. The first one is gold light, goes from your from the Om of the mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, purifies all of the arrogance, pride of the God realms, all of them. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme. That's gold light going out from your heart center. They all purified of that tendency. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. The second syllable is Ma. Green light goes to the war god Raja. Purify them of that abusive nature originating from jealousy, envy. So the green light purifies that, so they no longer suffer from that. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Then blue light to the world of the humans, which originates on planets throughout the universe, and their neediness, all their tendencies that carry from life to life, again, activated in the human condition, purifies them of that. And that's blue light from your heart. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Like the home, Om Mani Padme Hum. Like the sky, Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. And the pay is white light from your heart to the animal world, purifying them of their any development in awareness, their stupidity, ignorance. Om Mani Padme. White light to the animal world. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Red light from the pay to the deprived spirit world, never acquiring what they desire, what they need. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme. That's red light to them. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. And finally, from the home, blue light to the demon world of the spirits, 18 categories of complete discord, abuse, pain, and suffering. Removed. Om Mani Padme Hum. Dark blue light. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Hri. Hri is no longer a necessity for this aspect of awareness developing. You move into the clear light nature of your own mind where there is no judgment, therefore no emotional conflict from thoughts and from karma. And that's the energy field of Amitabha Buddha. And the seed syllable is Shri in its 5-color sphere of light, red in color. The Hri is red. So all 6 syllables now dissolve into the Hri, starting with the Om. As they dissolve into the Hri, infinite sentient beings from every direction develop, absorbed into you as the central figure of the practice. You can take as much time with each stage of this disillusion stage or the accomplishment stage. Then once as all sentient beings into you as the central figure, you disappear into the 6-syllable mantra in your heart. Then the Om, Ma, Ni, Pe, Mi, Hum, syllable by syllable, disappears into the central tree. And this tree disappears like a blazing sun of light in 5 colors into the infinite fabric of space. And you relax without attaching to sensual sensations from your body or any thoughts or judgments that arise in your mind. Just simply sit present and allow no interference, no past, no future. Relax. Mahamudra. Thoughts arise from space in whatever form, and disappear back into space, taking with them all the emotional conflict. Physical sensations arise from the bodies, same way. Don't block. Blissful or painful, arise and disappear. Voidness is the natural state of the universe, and your body-mind existence. If you're enjoying the bliss of being calm, have no attachment to that. If you're having the joy of practice results in clarity and understanding and higher states of awareness, have no attachment to that. If your mind is completely free of judgment, in a state of bliss without any emotional preoccupation, have no attachment to that. Just relax. This is the altruistic compassion of this practice that we generate for the benefit of limitless sentient beings. Our Mother, infinite in number, in this world. Then you arise again as the deity. The mandala of your practice is experienced post-meditationally between sessions. And you deal with all sound as the mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. And on this world planet today, it's completely appropriate for 8 billion humans. And the animal life that's fast disappearing. Okay. Now we'll do the practice of Manjushri. And I want you to see why this is the 3-part practice of compassion, power, and insight. Would you bring the talk of this behind here up front? This is Manjushri, but before we do the practice, this is the 3-fold tanka of all the tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. And this Chenrezig, Manjushri, and the Daka, or protector, are all the same. To represent compassion, power, and insight is inseparable. So this mandala is what we are activating with this practice tonight. Each deity has their own seed syllable. Chenrezig has 3, Manjushri has D, and Vajrapani has Hum. Now, why am I showing this before we do the practice of Manjushri is because power and compassion are this deity with insight. This one is compassion and insight with power. And the one we just did, Chenrezig, is insight and power with compassion. You can't separate these 3 from your body, your speech, or your mind. And they give you the 3 results of intelligence, clarity, with voidness. And And all the lamas will tell you the same thing. Put that back behind you. Or just set it to one side. So now we're going to do the Manju Sri practice. And this is the Tibetan Google. And the seed syllable is D. And learn to draw this one. And it, like the Hri, is either white or red in color on a white or red background, your choice. Now these Bodhisattva symbols are to bring the qualities and the realization that go with these practices out in the individual doing the practice. And then once the individual accomplishes the practice with the guidance of the lamas, then that person should teach others based on their development of compassion and power and insight and with the guidance of their teacher. And this is how we have set up these Dharma centers here in Hawaii and other places. And we have them on all the islands, and they're prolific. So now we're going to do the practice of Manjushri. Manjushri has a sword raised in the sky, blazing sword, cutting through ignorance, cutting through I, me, mindless, stupidity, bewilderment, all that. Then the left hand, he's holding the stem of a lotus blooming by his left ear with the text of Vajrapani, who is his consort, which is form is emptiness, emptiness in form. It's called the Heart Sutra. So you're combining sutra with the cutting through of Tantra. Now in Tibetan Buddhism, that's it. That's what every practice is all about. But with the guidance of the teacher and your Sangha, you must have the understanding of its usefulness, not only how to do it, but how to apply it. And so first of all, you're applying it to your own ignorance and bewilderment, not knowing, especially about Dharma, Buddha. What is Buddha? What is the Dharma? What is the Sangha? What is the Lama? What are the peaceful deities? What are the protectors and Dakini? What is that? How does that quickly mature a human being? How does that change the mindset of the whole planet? Which is absolutely necessary today to deal with the immensity of 170 million viruses circling the planet through 8 billion tourism humans. And so individually, this is our approach to this situation, which we're all in it together. Sit with your back straight. Hands in a comfortable position, mouth closed, eyes open, head tilted. Lama in front, 3 lights blazing into you, white, red, and blue. The Lama in front melts into you, the 3 lights in your 3 places with Om, Ah, and Hum, head, throat, and heart. These 3 vibrations and lights all come together in the heart chakra and the seed syllable Hum. Hum changes into the D. The Lama in front melts into you, you become Manjushri. Visualizing yourself with the sword and lotus, dressed in the same silks and jewels as Chenrezig, with 5 jewel crowns, sitting on a lotus, sun, and moon head. Legs in the full lotus posture, and a blazing sun disk behind, and an empty mirror directly behind. Sun and moon in the sky, and a natural setting just before, and the empty mirror in front. When you can see this 3D as hologram of your body, replacing your I, me, mind body, then you project it to your mother who made you as Manjushri in front. Lama, deity, inseparable. So every deity you project in your mandala is the Lama, is the Guru, manifesting from your own ability to imagine and focus, and placing yourself in that position. Then all mother sentient beings filling space, all your father, friends, relatives, lovers, pets, all the whole human race, all of the animals in the ocean, on the sun, Manjushri, on the land, Manjushri, all the spirits in the 4 categories of spirits filling space as Manjushri. Once you fill your mind with this mandala of light and light beings, the mantra appears in your heart inside a 5-color sphere, surrounding the D. The letters face outward and they're stationary. Om, Ah, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, 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 Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. The D in your heart center, the mantra visualize together with the D, these blazing energy of healing light through your body as Manjushri out in every direction like a sun, and every sentient being as Manjushri in your mandala doing the same thing you are. Filling space, filling the sky of your mind. Om, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ra, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ra, Pa, 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 Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ra, 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 Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. Om, Ra, Sanadi Soha, Sanadi Soha, Omara Sanadi Soha, Omara Sanadi Soha, Sanadi Soha, Omara Sanadi Soha, Omara Sanadi Soha. Omara Bhajanadi Soha. D is the vibration of light, any color, any code, any application, like the sun and moon, like the light of your imagination, your mental process, your thoughts. Same light, like the light emanating off of your physical form, or the energy of light energy that permeates your form and everything. D. This energy is the nadis of thousands and thousands of channels of light that fill your human body, called chi or prana. And it is the combination of the 5 elements that created you with your own psychic development of awareness. Moving out of the hindrances of the drama world of emotional tendencies and the subjective mind that has to define everything as good or bad or high or low or not existing or existing or not understandable or too smart, too over the top in the head and the idea of intelligence. All of that has to change on the planet now. This is how we change it. And we start with the tendency to be arrogant. And we move that in our minds with this mantra, Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha, Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha, Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha, Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha. High and mighty and better than anybody and perfect and all that. Aggrandizement, the need to be adored. Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha. Gone. Omar. Delete. Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha. Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha. Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha. And the need to be jealous, enviable, always wanting what others have, abusive, believing in war and other terrible ways of harming others and the environment. Gone, delete. Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha. 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 In the human condition, the tendency is to be needy, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Needy human being. Delete. And all judgment with it. Omara Bhatsa Nadi Soha. 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 We've gotten so bad we need to be quarantined for a long time. And now for all the stupidity and bewilderment that we possess and the animal world possesses, removed, higher states of awareness accomplished. Om Mara Patsa Nadi So 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 Om Mara Patsa Nadi So. And then for the deprived spirits, from the lack of accomplishment physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, hoarding, never get enough, complete lack of generosity, completely selfish in every way. Delete. Om Mara Patsa Nadi So 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 Om Mara Patsa Nadi So. And then the worst of all human afflictions that lead to the hell realms of demonic rebirth in the spirit world. Anger, hatred, rage, harmful mind, harmful speech, harmful activity, destruction of the intentionally destroying the environment. Delete. Om Mara Patsa Nadi So 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 Om Mara Patsa Nadi So. And completely understanding everything that's presented to us by our lamas, through completely developing our practice so that we can be in the state of Mahamudra 24/7, this life, in the dream state, and future lives. We move from this accomplishment stage, from the creation stage to the accomplishment stage by blending all the humans, animals, and spirits in the entire universe as Manjushri into us. Into us as the central Manjushri. Then you disappear this training form of the liquidity of everything being like an illusion, everything being simply an invention of your thoughts, and all judgment gone, transformed into higher and higher states of awareness to accomplish Buddhahood in Mahamudra, Dzogchen, the mind of light and bliss. Then you dissolve into the mantra dissolves into the D, and the D, red in color, blazing with the light of the sun, or like a supernova going off in our solar system, in our galaxy, or in the universe. Sound the D and pulse the light from your heart center to everyone, everywhere in the universe. No boundary. Inhale. D. Again, inhale. So light blazes out from your heart center, fills the universe with light. The energy field of Amitabha Buddha. Discerning that everything is of this nature. Inside, outside, equal, no different. Focus on the D. Inhale. D. One more time. Inhale. When you finish the accomplishment stage of being present in a state of clear light or voidness, absolute peace, then you re-emerge from that accomplishment stage as the deity. And post-meditation, you apply that to every situation. And the sound of the mantra whenever you need to give more understanding or to know something. Understanding is the result of knowledge. Knowledge is the result of understanding using your intelligence. Intelligence is the third category we call power. Without power, intelligence, no clarity to develop. Without clarity, no voidness. You will continue to think everything is real, virtual reality in the reality of the drama world. The two exist together. It's an oxymoron. and it is causing raging havoc on the planet today. Healing and dis-ease go together. Dharma and ignorance go together. You can't have one without the other. And I'll add to that, lucky for us. Now we'll do the third practice of the evening, which is Vajrapani, which is bringing compassion and insight together as power. Bring that one and put it in front of this one.
I'm going to take this one away.
Okay. Now these talkas have been used over and over and over for many classes, so they're kind of battered and bewildered, but we made them all off the same machine. They're all wax print. At the bottom of this one, we have the 8 auspicious symbols, which is all about the Dharma. Lotus, moon, and sunseed. So when you practice a protector deity, which comes from the peaceful deity, this deity actually comes from a combination of practicing Chenrezig and Manjushri. Vajrapani is the 2-armed Mahakala. He is also Karmapa, as Burna Chen. But Vajrapani sums up all of the protective aspects of all of the Sutra and Tantra tradition. And he carries in his right and left hand the bell and dorje. And usually the deities carry a hooked knife and a skull cup. But this one is the Lama as all of the Sutra and Tantra tradition. So he's like this. And he is naked with the tiger skin skirt, shabtab in Tibetan. And he carries a necklace of freshly cut heads and Dharma jewels, symbolizing the 3 bodies. He has a 5-jewel skulls on his head, 5 Dhyana Buddhas. He has 3 eyes. He has teeth, big teeth, like dog, like wolf. Okay, then big belly, and he's standing on the sun disk, sometimes a human form under his feet, with the black lotus, blue-black lotus, and a blazing dome of fire around him. This deity is Mahakala, wrathful. This deity, higher grief. This deity, these 2 together as all the deities of the Sutra and Tantra tradition, as a state of power over the mind and power over the Dharma practices. Okay, with the Dharma practices. So this is the mind, body, speech, and mind of the Lama. Body, speech, mind. The seed syllable is all 5 Dhyana Buddhas, but whom? H. No, that's
Oh, sorry.
excuse me. Whom? H-U-N-G, or M at top. Whom? And then the mantra surrounds it, and then the 5-colored sphere. Now the mantras are this way. They show them on the tanka this way, but they circle in your heart this way. Om Vajrapani Om Pe. Pe means to cut or delete. any obstacles, any judgment, any emotional tendency that arises with thoughts, all harmful thoughts, all harmful speech, all harmful activity. Pay. Sit with your back straight, eyes in front, mouth closed, hands comfortable. Breathe. 3 lights breath. Inhale white light into the lungs. Hear Om. Red lights flashing through the body is the energy Ah. These two sounds codes together. Out the nose is blue light to everyone in space. Om. And visualize the Lama in front with the 3 lights from the Lama's 3 places into your 3 places. The Lama melts into you, the Om, Ah, and Hung in your 3 places come together in the heart chakra. The Hung is sound of universal healing, antidote to the extreme dysfunction of the judgment of bad, causing anger, aversion, hatred, rage, psychosis, harm to self, others, and the environment. This is the ultimate antidote. What is it? Loving kindness. Power over the mind to 24/7. Be loving, kind, and considerate to everyone and to the world around you, our environment, and all the beings inhabiting the environment. When you do protector practice, you are all 3 deities. The light of the blazing sun that the protector stands on goes everywhere. The light of the this blazing mandala around him pervades the 6 realms.
Can you move that so we can see the tonka?
This one?
Yeah, thank you.
In the 4 spirit worlds. This is Chenrezig in compassion and insight, power all together. So you don't need to project to each individual. You are the protector of all the beings in the heavens, the hells, deprived spirits, war and war god, demigod worlds, human world, animal world. All energy, all 6 purified. All obstructions purified. All negative body, speech, and mind activity or karma purified. Om Vajrapani Om Pe. Stationary, letters face outward around the Hum. Om Vajrapani Om Pe. 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 Om Vajrapani Hum 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 Okay. Symbolically, what we are doing is with Chenrezig, we're placing a white sphere in our heart mind. With Vajrapani, we're accompanying that with a red sphere in the heart mind. And Manjushri, red sphere in the heart mind. With Vajrapani, a blue sphere in the heart mind. When all three of these are accompanied, we have a clear sphere of realization called Mahamudra. This accomplishments the purpose of becoming mature in the Tibetan tradition. Symbolically, we're already that. This sphere is always on the body, speech, and mind. Body, speech, mind. Om Vajrapani Hum Te, Om Vajrapani Hum Te, Om Vajrapani Hum Te, Om Vajrapani Hum Te, Om Vajrapani Hum Te. Om Vajrapani Hum Te, 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 Vajrapani Hum Te. Vajrapani Hum Te, 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 Om Vajrapani Hum Te, 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 Vajrapani Hum Te. Vajrapani Hum Te, Vajrapani Hum Te, Vajrapani Hum Te, Vajrapani Hum Te, Om Vajrapani Hum Te. And moving from the creation stage into the accomplishment stage of Mahamudra, we sound the 10 Hungs. First 3 for body, speech, and mind. The next 4 for body, speech, and mind in the qualities position of accomplishment. And the final 3 Hungs are the body, speech, and mind in the state of Mahamudra, without any end in sight, timeless awareness. Inhale. Hum, hum, hum. And 4. Hum, 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 hum. And the activity of the last 3. Hum, hum, hum. No judgment, no meditation. Sit in timeless awareness. The 2-armed Mahakala is Mahamudra. The activity of all the Buddhas of the 3 times. In the tradition of Mahamudra, as one takes this path of direct perception, a person then can obtain true and complete enlightenment within the same body in one lifetime, regardless of the situation. Mahamudra provides appropriate methods and techniques. So whether one is able to undertake a lot of hardship or not, whether one is very diligent or not, whichever type of person you might be, there is always great benefit in practicing this path to Mahamudra. The practice can be done in the solitude of retreat or while involved in daily complexities of modern life. Mahamudra training is always applicable in any situation at any moment of one's life or approaching the leaving of the body at death. This was written by Lama Kenshin Trangu Rinpoche of Canada, Vancouver, Canada, where he lives. Now we do the dedication prayer. To the benefit of all sentient beings and removal of all the hardships we're enduring on this planet today, and an end to all of the discomfort of the 170 million viruses and so forth, we make this dedication prayer. Kewa di nirdu da, chagya chempo jugurne, chowa chinking malu pa, dei sa opar sho, sanjay kusa nimpai jemla dong. Joni Maker Dempaj Jemwa Dong Gender Miche Dumpai Jemwa Ki Shi Targo Wamo Jupar Show. By this virtue of having realized Mahamudra, I quickly establish all beings without a single exception in this state of awareness. By the blessing of the three bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of the Dharma itself being unchanging, and by the blessings of the wishes of the Sangha, that's us, being unwavering, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. May all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings have happiness, and the cause of happiness be away from suffering and the causes of pain and suffering. May they all be established in bliss through our practice and reach the state of equanimity, free of attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, stupidity, bewilderment, and ignorance. And we might add fear, anxiety, and depression. Duchiche. Duchiche, mahalo. Thank you very much.